I like your haircut.
Don't even try to act like you're giving me a compliment just so you can film him. I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it.
Film who? What are you talking about?
Just in case you didn't know, Oregon is above California. Honey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? The penis? The vagina? What is?
I think I like this one.
Good choice. Put that shit away. Look how cute this little room is.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Find something else you like? Aww.
This is the guys section, 21 men. One little tiny corner. Then the girl section is like a bajillion times bigger and other levels like up and down. Huh, John? It's like one little corner.
You see how small this little section is? I'm not feeling it.
What? I ain't feeling it. I mean, I can't even move.
I know, right?
No.
What is this, a cow print? Why wouldn't you need this?
Let's move on.
No.
You like that, you laughed.
No.
Don't lie.
Let's try that one again.
You totes
Let's
laughed.
shut off the camera. Let's go back in there. Let you think about what you just did. And then let's get back to the camera.
This is the 5th or 6th time you're tying your shoes. Do you need help?
You gotta judge me. Why you gotta turn on the camera when you saw me doing it?
Do you need help?
You're like, oh, this is an opportunity. I'm gonna embarrass his ass. I don't need no help. I know that, you know, what's the bunny routine? Like, you tie it. You know what I'm talking about. You tie it.
It's okay.
And then you do a loop.
It's gonna be okay.
And then the bunny goes through the loop. And then the bunny ears become like that. I don't know, some shit like that.
Great tutorial.
Thanks. I like your little backpack.
You have to be careful of these things because they lead to the underground. So if you fall through,
What underground?
the underground.
You're not gonna fall through that. That's so not true.
I promise you.
I thought you were a lot smarter.
What'd you say?
Look, ooh, I caught you jaywalking.
That's not jaywalking.
They jaywalked. Those two girls jaywalked because because that white man didn't turn white until after they got onto the other side of the street. So they went on the red hand.
I'm gonna give you a red hand right now.
We should. They jaywalked.
Did you report them? John, you're
I
making
did.
4 stops right now.
Hold on. You see my phone?
What?
It's a Pokemon. It's a Pokestop mechanism. Where all the Pokemon. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just talking all kinds of shit. I caught all you jaywalking too. It's just a pretty park.
There's a lot of benchage.
Benchage?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that a word?
We could have a bench for each of our friends and just each have our own.
So you're basically saying we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's a lot of friends. That's a lot of friends. I don't think we have that many friends.
Well, we should make more then.
Hey, look, it's a courthouse. That's where I'm gonna file. Love you.
Love would have brought you home that night.
Love you.
I like your haircut.
Don't even try to act like you're giving me a compliment just so you can film him. I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for it.
Film who? What are you talking about? How's my baby? Oh! Why are you pulling away from me? You never pull away from me. There we go.
I'm about to pull out your weave.
Me? Or his?
Yours. Should we just tell him what happened yesterday? Our weird, crazy story?
Scared that the serial killer will hear us.
Yeah, the window's right there, but it's a really good story.
It is a really good story. A really good story.
It was freaking crazy. Me and Aaron are watching a movie in the room and eating snacks, and Cliff and Amanda were in the living room. We were out of snacks, and so I did the only reasonable thing.
The noble thing.
The noble thing, of course, and got more snacks. So I went into the kitchen, and I'm in the refrigerator when I hear the door knock. And at first I was like, maybe it's Clark and Patrick, but I think they would have tried to scare us. Because we had literally tried to, or we accomplished it. We had literally scared them.
Yeah.
About 3 hours before that.
we got them good.
Yeah. We ran to their window, their bedroom window, and just started pounding at it. And you hear Patrick scream so loud. He said like 15 million cuss words in one sentence.
That was really good.
It was really impressive. So anyways, door knocks. And Amanda says, Cliff ordered Jimmy John's. And I was like, okay. So I opened the door and this guy is standing there. And he's about like 25, 26. You know, our age. And,
don't age me.
He just looks at me weird. And he's not holding a sandwich. So I'm like, I'm thinking this isn't Jimmy John's because he's not holding a sandwich. And I was like, hi. And he was like, hey, I don't even remember his name, but he shook my hand. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm thinking maybe this is Cliff's friend and I haven't met him yet. And then he was like, yeah, I heard it's a lot of noise, so I came down to see what was up. I'm like, loud noise? What are you talking about? I don't even know who this person is. And then Jimmy John's comes right behind him and has the sandwich. And Cliff comes behind me and grabs the sandwich and like walks away. So I'm like, where's Cliff going? This is his friend. And so the guy steps into the apartment and then shuts the door behind him. The Jimmy John's guy is gone. This stranger just steps into our apartment and closes the door behind him. And I look at him like, what the hell just happened? And I'm still thinking that maybe this is Cliff's friend and I'm just like missing something. And then Cliff turns around when the guy comes in and shuts the door and looks at me, and the look he gives me was like, that's not my friend. I don't know, this is wrong. And so the guy starts talking. He's like, I'm your neighbor, and we just got new neighbors about a month ago. And so I was like, oh, I met your girlfriend. And he was like, oh yeah, cool. And I stepped back and he just looks nuts. And I stepped back and while he's talking crazy and pull a knife out of the knife cutter thing and I put it on the counter while this guy is talking to me. And I just covered my hand over like the handle, like ready to go. I was like, just try it. He looked straight up crazy. Like you guys remember The Strangers, the scary movie? He looked like he'd be related to them. Like his eyes were like this. So anyways, he starts talking to us. I'm thinking, okay, he's our neighbor. Maybe he just doesn't understand social etiquette and coming into someone's house and, you know, shutting the door behind you is not an okay thing. And like Cliff is trying to talk to him a little bit, but Cliff is being off, like he's not knowing really what to do either. So the guy's like, yeah, just like, I saw Jimmy John's coming over to you guys' apartment, and I was like, oh, I should meet my neighbors. And he's like, yeah, I just moved here from Alaska. And he was like, oh yeah, the neighbor, or the people that I'm staying with, your upstairs neighbors, are not I don't live there, they're my friends who just moved here. And I'm like, you're friends with someone, you just moved from Alaska, 20 minutes away, and you're friends with these people who just moved from somewhere else? Like, how do you know each other even? And he's like, yeah, they let me crash here whenever I want, and so I pretty much live there. So at this point, Aaron comes in, because he's like, where the fuck are my snacks?
That's not why I came out. That is not why I came out. Maybe. Most of the time, yes.
You wanted your Reese's.
I did. But this time, I came out because if something was going to happen, I wanted to be there for it. And I wanted to be in the middle of it. So, I came out, and I came to where the bar is at. So, John's in the kitchen part. Creepy stranger's guy is at the door still with his back against the wall, shutting the door. And then Cliff is kind of in the little hallway right there. So, it's Cliff. So, it's him, Cliff, John, and then I like situated at the bar like this, just like staring straight on.
Meanwhile, Amanda's on the couch, and she's just like eating her dinner. And she's just hard as a rock. So, I'm thinking this isn't weird. And I'm just overreacting. But Cliff's tone of voice is suggesting otherwise. Anyways, the guy's talking to us. He starts talking about like, he's like, hey, can I ask you guys something? I want to break the ice, but I don't want to like seem too weird, like if this is okay for me to say. And we're like, yeah, you can tell us. And he was like, you guys ever do cocaine? And we were like, at that moment, it took me that long to realize that he was on drugs. And even though his eyes totally looked like it, he was acting, his behavior was totally on, he was on something. And I was just like, no, I don't. And Cliff was like, no, we don't do that here. And he was like getting all paranoid at that point because he was on something, probably that. And the fact that we were not okay with joining him, he was kind of acting weird. He kind of seemed like he was there though to scope out the apartment, like to see what we owned, like he would be back, which was freaking me out. Or it looked like he was gonna like take out a gun or a knife out of his pocket and just go crazy. And that's why I had my hand on the knife the whole time. We ended up, like, Cliff kept trying to say like, hey, like, come, like, we're taking it easy tonight, we're trying to, you know, go to bed early, we have work in the morning, but it was really nice meeting you. And the guy was like, yeah. And then he would keep going. And he would not leave. He was there for like 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, like not leaving, not getting the point. And Cliff tried it twice, and then finally the guy was like, you know, he's like, yeah, it was really nice to meet you guys, we should go hang out sometime. And then he left. And like immediately after he left, the four of us went into the living room, closed all the doors, and like regrouped to be like, what the hell just happened?
What was that?
And right when we were talking, we heard a huge thud upstairs, like he had gone in through the window. About 15 minutes later, me and Aaron didn't feel comfortable. We thought he was gonna come back in the house. So I had the bat prepared, like I was ready for him to try to come into our house, and we were like, let's just go for a little walk and see where he is. So we like left the apartment and we walked around and we saw him. He was just like pacing back and forth into the kitchen like crazy. So anyways, we went to Clark and Patrick's house and we were just like kind of like spying to see what he was doing. He like would go on the patio and then he would like go out, like he wasn't even on the patio, he was at the front door and he was like leaning against the railing just looking at everything. And then he was like inviting other neighbors over for a drink, and so there was like a little party going on. It was crazy. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
This guy, he didn't even live there.
Well, it was at that point then I was kind of like, okay, he's just looking to party and there's just a party going on. But before that, everything up until that point, we thought we were going to die and not make it today.
No.
Right? Like that was it.
Yeah, it was scary.
It was sketch.
Yeah, it was
Super sketch.
I just like, we didn't ask him to come in. We said, nice to meet you. It was weird too, like his hands were all dirty, like really, really dirty. I noticed it, because he shook my hand like 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was like dirt. And I was just like, well, if you're doing drugs upstairs, or like, why are your hands dirty? Like with like dirt.
Curious, sir.
It was just weird.
But we're still here.
We survived to tell the tale.
Can't say the same about tomorrow or the next day, but if we keep posting videos, you'll know. Final kiss.